slot left. Washington outside left. Roethlisberger has time. Throws to the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a
Harrison on this play. I mean, again, Peyton Manning puts it where only Marvin Harrison can catch it. And
years ago we talked.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Football Thursday here on Condogs 209's channel. That is me, your host, Condog, the Condog, Corny Dog, whatever Condog or Corn Dog or Hot Dog you want, I'll be it. All right, let's get back to Real Football Thursday. So, top 15 rankings, my personal rankings. I did not move the teams one bit just because, one, it's easier, and two, no one really played any meaningful games, had any meaningful losses, so really no sense in, bumping the team up for, an arbitrary win or, a win versus Chico State. I don't know, man. FSSFSU, random school here, Air Force, Army. So, but there will be some major implications going into next week, and you'll learn about that later with my new part, games to watch for the NCAA. But ranking down the top, we got the Clemson Tigers. They're rolling. They rolled past Syracuse. Not much of a challenge there. Alabama, Roll Tide. They're still rolling. The Georgia Bulldogs, they got a big contest coming up. But again, I'm going to save that for games to watch. Georgia Bulldogs, they could be moving up because I will move them up or down depending on that result. LSU Tigers, they're sitting pretty right now. They don't have any big matches, so they'll probably stay where they're at depending on victories or losses on other teams. Oklahoma, same story. Ohio State, same story. Auburn, not the same story, and you'll learn about that later. Florida is an interesting one. Now, I could move them down due to losing Felipe Franks during the Kentucky game, but guess what? They were actually losing that game when Felipe Franks was in. And then Kentucky lost the game when Florida's backup quarterback came in and they took over. And actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about this game. You might, if you follow me on Facebook, or I made a quick post about it. But so Florida's defensive cornerback gets an interception. The receiver for the Kentucky Wildcats hits him helmet to helmet, lowers the helmet, everything. Hits him like near the face mask, helmet to helmet, obvious helmet to helmet. I don't agree with helmet to helmet sometimes, but I know the rule, and that is pretty much lowers the helmet, everything follows the guidelines. But, the Florida guy still held on to the ball, and he celebrates his interception. So he gets flagged for excessive celebration, but the Kentucky Wildcats receiver does not get flagged for helmet to helmet. I just thought that's something really fishy, considering how we got a call, into the what was it? Oh, the Northwestern game versus Stanford, where the quarterback slid and the guy was already diving at him, and his forearm, his elbow, not his head, not his helmet, hit just the tip of the face mask. It got, if we're going to call little whiny baby hits like that and not call a lowering to the head into the helmet face mask area, not going to call that. I don't know. It's like you need some transparency on the rule, but again, college refs are never the greatest. But the Longhorns, this is not on my 3 games to watch list, so I'll talk about it a little. Oklahoma State, again, it's the Big 12. All teams have the ability to just put up 45 points, so be on the watch out. In Texas, you cannot lose that game, though. You have a lot to lose. Oklahoma has nothing to lose. So they're going to go out throwing a lot of punches. Be careful. Michigan, they have a big one coming up. Not going to talk too much about that. Next week will definitely be the big one to talk about. Same with Notre Dame and Wisconsin. They're all on the games of the week, so I'll talk about that in the next segment. Utah, Penn State, Oregon. Again, I'm just waiting for games, and Oregon's actually playing Stanford. It's not on the games of the watch, so that's a big rivalry there. Because of the Nike battle, not like, Oregon, Washington, or Stanford, Cal, but this is like their secondary rival. That's their secondary rival, or third, if you want to count the Civil War with the Beavers for the Ducks, but very big rivalry right there. And games to watch. Let's move on to games to watch. So we got 3, and guess what? They are all in 3 different time slots, the 9 a.m., 12 a.m., and 5 p.m. Or actually 12:30 p.m. But yeah, 9 a.m., We got Michigan, the Wolverines, khaki pants, Jim Harbaugh got to travel all the way to Wisconsin to go up against one of the best student sections in the nation. And the Badgers, they come to play. They're extremely powerful this year. They have not allowed a single point all year, regardless of who they played. Most time, even no matter who you play, not allowing a single point's impressive. They have the number one defense in everything right now, so it is the number one defense. They are home, and they're going to play a top team in their conference and have a shot to take control of the whole conference. Next, it is the no-conference Fighting Irish at Athens, Georgia. That's right. They're going to play Kirby Smart, Jake Fromm, and the Bulldogs of Georgia. That is going to be an interesting game. Whoever wins will definitely get a boost. Not sure how much of a boost, depending on Georgia's win, just because of their placement. But Notre Dame, I will boost them to probably top 5 if they get that victory. They will definitely deserve that if they do pull it off. But let's see here. Notre Dame's playing a strong out-of-conference opponent, considering that every opponent is out-of-conference because you're not in one. So at least it's a strong one. And next, it is the SEC West at its finest. The Tigers of Auburn going to go all the way to College Station to face the Aggies and Johnny Manziel. Nope, not Johnny Manziel. I'm just playing. That'd be funny if Johnny Manziel was still playing, but no, but it is going to be an interesting one. A&M's looking to beat up on a different Tiger after they got beat by the Clemson Tigers. You lose to a big Tiger, maybe pick on a smaller Tiger, and that's what Auburn is, a smaller Tiger compared to the Clemson Tigers. How many times could I say Tiger? But with that, that's going to be it for the games to watch. Again, they're all on different time slots. 9 a.m. Michigan at Wisconsin, 12:30. It's going to be the Auburn Tigers going to College Station against the Aggies. And then the night game, 5 p.m., it is going to be the Fighting Irish at the Bulldogs. Remember, my time is Pacific Standard Time here in California. So just add 3 hours, 2 hours, or 1 hour, depending on your time zone. But that is going to be it for college football. Again, let's have a great Saturday, great weekend. But let's move on to the NFL. Let's go and take a look at those standings. First and foremost, we have the AFC Giants. We have the Patriots. Yep, they're the Giants of the AFC. They share similar colors, same with the Bills. But Patriots are sitting pretty at 2-0. They are looking extremely strong for the year. And yeah, Antonio Brown got a lot of work. Josh Gordon didn't get a lot of work, but he wasn't needed against the Miami Dolphins, who are tanking for Tua. That is going to be the hashtag tanking for Tua. Put that, Dolphin fans, on all of your social media. Just put that on there right now. Tanking for Tua. That is exactly what you're doing. And you actually hold a couple of the Houston Texans picks, a Steelers picks, and some Saints picks. So you're going to have a lot of picks. Tanking is totally fine with me if you plan to be actually relatively good for a few years. That's fine. Look at the 76ers. They got 2 perennial 10, 15-year superstars. So I would totally suck for 5 years to get 15 good years. I mean, that's totally worth it. The buy low, sell high, that risk reward is totally worth it. And that's exactly what the 76ers do. But enough about that. Let's go to the Kings of New York, the Buffalo Bills. They went at MetLife Stadium 2 weeks in a row to beat the Jets and the Giants in back-to-back weeks. They have now claimed New York as their state for this year. New York is all Buffalo this year, but I received a huge blow on my fantasy team as Devin Singletary has a mysterious hamstring injury. I'm not sure of the severity of it, but that is one of my running backs out, and that's a rest in peace to me. Next, we're going to go to the Miami Dolphins and New York Jets. Dolphins, again, tanking for Tua. Not much to say there. The Jets, Sam Darnold's out there kissing every lady that comes his way and had mono. Not sure who gave it to him. I did see that funny sign at the game that said I gave Sam Darnold mono, so I'm not sure if she gave it to him or was just being funny. But who knows? I would probably kiss her too. Why not? Next, we got Lamar Jackson leading the AFC North versus the undisciplined Browns, who are 1-1. The injured Pittsburgh Steelers, another injury right there, Ben Roethlisberger, and the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 0-2, but they played a very good Seahawks team first week, who beat also the Pittsburgh Steelers, both close games, and then they lost to a very well-coached 49ers team in the second week. So that's nothing to be ashamed about at all. Next, we're going to go take a look here at the AFC South. They are pretty much all 1-1 except for the Jags, and the Jags had to play the Chiefs, so AFC South not looking so good. They got a game this Thursday. Thursday night's not always a good game, so might skip it. Might just, go out and DoorDash or whatever. AFC West, here we got the mighty high Kansas City Chiefs, the Oakland Raiders, the injury-prone Chargers, and the 0-2 Broncos, who look like another bottom feeder for this season. Not sure if they're tanking for Justin Herbert or Jake Fromm. Not too sure. Maybe Jake Fromm goes another year. But that's what it looks like. They have no decent quarterback play. Nothing. They can't move the ball on offense at all. So that's not too fun. Let's go move over to the NFC. We got Dandy Dak Prescott, not Don Meredith, leading the charge here. And he is got the Cowboys looking pretty at 2-0. They did play the easiest part of their schedule, and they got another easy game coming up against the Dolphins. So I'm looking for a 3-0 outright there. Next, the Philadelphia Eagles, they struggled against the Atlanta Falcons and also struggled against the Washington Redskins. Carson Wentz got beat up a bit. Is this a sign of worry? Not too sure. Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey really haven't, besides week 1, again, Deshaun Jackson injured for week 2. Not too much of factors in that Falcons game. Not too sure exactly what's going to happen here. Redskins and Giants, #tanking for... Not sure who, because they already drafted their quarterback. So, D lineman? Offensive, #boost the line? #boost the line. There we go. NFC North here, the Green Bay Packers are sitting pretty at 2-0. They do have 2 division wins, actually. They went at home and beat the Minnesota Vikings in a very good battle. And they also went on the road to Soldier Field to beat the Bears in a very good battle. They may end up getting, revenge games later on, because considering how close these games were. But also the Lions, they have a tie and a win versus a very good undermanned Chargers team, but a very good Chargers team nonetheless with Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen. And they got a tie with, the air raid master himself, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. So that's going to be fun. The Bears, Mitch Trubisky looked awful through 2 games. The Vikings, they just ran into a very good Packers team, and they beat a good Falcons team. So right now, NFC North, probably the toughest division at this moment. NFC South, what a bunch of stinkers this is. I mean, the Bucs are leading the division. That's because they beat the Panthers, who Cam Newton, I'm not sure if it's his foot, his shoulder, his confidence, his clothes, I don't know what it is, but the Panthers are 0-2, and that is not good. The Saints could be moving less now just because of Teddy Bridgewater is now their quarterback, as Drew Brees hurt himself in that game too. This should be the time for the Falcons to strike hard, strike fast, strike now, Atlanta. You could end up winning a division and have a home playoff game. That is important for a team like yours, the way it's built. This is your chance, Atlanta. Take advantage of a weakened division. Get yourself maybe a home playoff game. Maybe sneak into 2 home playoff games. Do a good job. There you go, Atlanta. I'm looking at you now. NFC West, it is the battle of some very, very well-coached teams. I mean, we're talking Sean McVay's Rams, Kyle Shanahan's Niners, Pete Carroll's Seahawks, and Cliff Kingsbury's Cardinals. This division is on fire. I mean, the Rams, they just pounding it on, the Saints, even though Drew Brees went out, and they went to Carolina and got a good victory there. The Niners pounded it out, won against the Bengals, who looked very good against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks have had 2 drag-out victories versus the AFC North. Very awesome. The Cardinals, again, Kyler Murray took about 3 quarters to, get waking up in that Lions game, but hey, you know what? You're not 0-2, so you got a rookie quarterback, a rookie coach, you're not 0-2. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. I mean, Kyler Murray has had 300 yards passing in all those games. And with that being said, let's go take a look over at our pigskin pick'em. And last week, I only got 10 points. Well, not too shabby, because most of the games were very close. I mean, the Chargers-Lions game, who saw that? That was a close game. The Colts-Titans game, that was a very close game. The Packers-Vikings game, that was within a touchdown. The Panthers-Bucks, who could have called that? But that was that was within a touchdown. The only ones not within a touchdown that I got wrong were, again, the Saints-Rams. I picked the Saints and Rams, but who could have called Drew Brees hurting his fingers and being out for 6 weeks? And then also the Bengals and 49ers. Who could have called, after, what was it, Freeman? Somebody went down on the Niners, and then Mostert just went off. Like, who could have called that? But other than that, fairly solid week. Week 3, let's start it off. Thursday Night Football. I'm going to go with the Titans over the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars 0-2. Jalen Ramsey wants out, so his heart of heart is not in Jacksonville. That's their best player, so got to go with the Titans here. Next thing, early morning, it could be a shootout here as Jacoby Brissett hosting Matty Ice and the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm going to roll with the Atlanta Falcons here to go take a victory. Next up, we got the Kings of New York versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is going to be a very close game. This is going to be a very close game, folks. I'm feeling it. I know the Pigskin Pick'em has the chart of how people pick, but I'm going to say this is a very close game, and people are definitely sleeping on the Bengals here. The Bengals have looked very good. Andy Dalton's looked great without Marvin Lewis holding him back, and yes, it was Marvin Lewis's fault. The dude hasn't won a playoff game with Ocho Cinco, Houshmandzadeh, and Chad Johnson, or Rudy Johnson and Carson Palmer. Why the hell did I say Chad Johnson twice? He's that good. But yeah, Marvin Lewis couldn't win that. Couldn't win with AJ Green, Andy Dalton, Joe Mixon. Sorry, bye Marvin Lewis. Finally glad you're gone. Next up, it is going to be the Cowboys and the Dolphins, and that should be 100% pick unless you're doing some weird Vegas spread, points where the Dolphins only have to lose by, 30 or 40. Next up, it is the Broncos and the Packers, and I'm definitely picking the home team Packers for this here. I am definitely not rolling with the Broncos in the way they cannot move the football. Lions-Eagles, this could be a closer game than people expect. Again, knowing that Chargers game, this could definitely be a closer game than expected. Hawkinson has proven to be a fairly solid tight end, even though it's his rookie year. Stafford's been proven to be very well. Kerryon Johnson, Galladay, and the Eagles, again, still a little banged up. I went with the Eagles here just because they're home, but don't expect the Lions to pull off another upset here, folks. Do not sleep on them. Next, it is Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. No Tyreek Hill, Marcus Hollywood Brown, Sammy Watkins. This is going to be a high-powered shootout. The Ravens do have a better defense, and will that be enough to give Lamar Jackson the edge to beat the reigning MVP and what could be the biggest game of his career so far? That is going to be a fun game to watch. And again, the Pick'em has, Kansas City favored by a lot, but this could be a very close game coming down to the wire, as the Patriots-Chiefs game was in the AFC Championship last year. Next up here, it is Vikings versus Raiders. The Raiders looked great here in Week 1. Did not look so great against the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 2. They're going to go at Minnesota and maybe have, the pants beaten off them. They have a very rough schedule, and I mean very rough schedule. They got the Vikings. They have the Bears on their schedule. Very rough schedule coming up. They already played 2 home games and they're 1-1, so they only have 6 home games left. Not too excited here for the Raiders. Looking forward, Josh Jacobs doesn't seem to get too involved in the pass game, even though they have the quarterback whisperer, John Gruden, who should know that running backs need to be able to catch balls now. Pun intended. Next up, it is going to be the New England Patriots versus the New York Jets, and they're on their 3rd-string quarterback, so Belichick loves 2nd-string quarterbacks. He loves rookie quarterbacks. He's going to love a 3rd-string quarterback. So Falk, no. That's right. Falk, no there. So Patriots with the win. Next up, it is the Bucks and the Giants, and the Bucks have a chance to, go 2-1 on the year. Very surprising. They have a chance to go 2-1. But I'm going to roll with them, but the Giants could get a sneaky victory here. Let's see how good Daniel Jones is, but again, they could get a sneaky one just because there's not a lot of tape on Daniel Jones, like NFL tape, like there's college tape. But college defenses are a lot worse than NFL defenses, so you never know. The windows are a lot tighter in the NFL, the throwing windows, so who knows, but I'm going to roll off the Panthers. Next up, it is the Cliff Kingsbury Air Raid versus the Carolina Panthers, and the Panthers are trying to stop going from 0-3 and ending the season. The Panthers have everything to lose here. The Cardinals, they want to go out there and prove they can beat a former MVP and a former top pick in Christian McCaffrey with their new air raid Cliff Kingsbury offense. They are home, and I am actually going to roll with the Cardinals. I'm going to roll with the Cardinals. I do not trust the Panthers. I've picked them twice, I believe, and it has not been fun for me. So, sorry, Carolina, I no longer trust you. You have to earn that trust back. Next, it is the Drew Breesless Saints versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are home. There's no beast mode here, and the Saints are still going to lose. Sorry. Seahawks got this. Let's go, Russell Wilson. Next up, it is the Steelers and the Niners. No Big Ben. Maybe James Conner's out. Maybe it's Jalen Samuels in the game. Gonna roll with the 49ers. They look great. George Kittle, Jimmy Garoppolo, Morster, they look great. So I'm gonna roll with San Francisco as the home team. Sunday night, it is the Chargers and Texans. And this is a very close one, but I'm going to roll with the home team here with the Los Angeles Chargers. That is such a habit. And the thing is, they didn't move it from an air, like they didn't go far away, like the Lakers went from Minneapolis to Los Angeles. That's, 2,000 miles between. The Chargers moved 2 hours north. Like, 2 hours north at the very least. Like, they're so close to their old home. It's very, and like when you see the home game, you still see the same weather. He's like, oh, clearly, it's near San Diego. So, yeah, Ron Burgundy is very upset that I have to call this, Los Angeles. But, yeah, next up, it is the Monday night game, the Rams versus the Browns. I'm going to go with the Rams. Or actually, no, that's the Sunday night. My bad. I totally misread that. That's the Sunday night game, Rams-Browns. Because the Monday night game is Bears-Redskins, folks. And I'm going to roll with Chicago Bears. Even though the Redskins have held their own in those 2 losses, much like the Bengals, they're playing one of the best defenses in the league. I mean, they held Aaron Rodgers down. They sacked him many times, and it's going to be rough for Case Keenum to score, even, without Darius Geis. I want to roll with the Bears there. And for the final score, I got the Bears winning 21-17. It is in Washington, so, a little less of a home field advantage. But that is going to be it for this week of Thursday Night Football. Enjoy your games. Hope your teams win. Hope your fantasy teams win. And remember, tune in next week because it's going to just get better and better, folks. Catch you next Thursday.